This might be the best Gibson style bass on the market right now, which is kind of hilarious. Hey, AMP the bass player here, Squier Rascal here. You probably didn't click on this to hear me talk, so let's play. Okay, so some thoughts here. This is a really fantastic bass. I'm constantly forgetting that this is a $450 Squier and not a $1,000 Fender. In fact, I keep calling it a Fender because it just feels really good. That said, it is not without its quirks, the first of which being the scale length. Now this is a 30-inch scale length from the bridge to the nut, but it doesn't feel like it. In fact, if we compare the Rascal to my Fender Mustang, you can see the size difference on these bodies. Like, the Rascal is just massive by comparison, but they are the same 30-inch scale length. The size difference also contributes to a very different sort of playing experience. Like, my fretting hand doesn't notice anything because it just kind of feels like a normal 34-inch full-scale bass, but my right hand, my plucking hand, tends to live like here-ish if I'm not thinking about it, because this is where your neck pickup would normally be. But because this bridge is so much further up this way, I don't know, it's just a different kind of playing experience, one that you kind of adjust to. It's not bad or weird, it's just different. Next thing we gotta talk about are these pickups. These wide range humbuckers that seem to have been designed just for this bass sound really, really great. It's like all the sounds that I'd want out of like a Gibson style bass, but I don't have to deal with the shitty ergonomics and the stupid bridge. Like, this bass is nice by comparison. In fact, let me grab my T-Bird and I will do a back and forth comparison here, and you'll kind of hear they're not quite the same, but they do sort of live in that same family. I feel like the tones that come out of this are a little bit more like an SG or maybe even like the Newport that they just released, but it's kind of the same family of tones. At any rate, I'm not going to miss that T-Bird when I finally do get around to selling it, because now I have this. The other thing, though, is I love playing this with a pick, which is exactly what I liked about the sound of the T-Bird. So it kind of does feel like a continuation, just like a better version of that, just for me personally. And because of that Gibson vibe, I feel like a lot of people are not so thrilled on this neck pickup because it is kind of that mudbucker sound. But I think it sounds really cool in its own way. It's definitely a little bit more niche than the rest of the sounds here, but it's something that I kind of feel like, why didn't this catch on with the Motown guys back in the day? Like, why weren't they all over Gibson basses? Because I think that this neck pickup does those sounds really, really well. With both pickups, you do get that jazz bass kind of feel where it's kind of like that scoop tone. That's the kind of sound that I would probably use for more like straight ahead rock or like classic rock, something like The Darkness, where their bass player does use a T-Bird for most of their stuff, and I think it sounds really good for that kind of thing. But the big thing that a lot of people are jazzed on is this bridge pickup, because it doesn't sound like thin or nasally like a lot of bridge pickups. Because it's this big fatty humbucker, you get this full range, like really forward sound. This is what this bass is going to be known for. This bridge pickup is the sauce. For the price, I feel like this is one of the best things Squier has made in recent years. Like, yeah, I could get nitpicky over how the nut isn't cut all that well, or how the tuners are kind of but it's $450, and it sounds great, and it plays great. The fretwork is good, the hardware seems great, the pickups sound awesome. Like, any faults that I could find with it are just overshadowed by how much fun this is to play and how cool the sounds are that are coming out of it. This might be the best Gibson style bass on the market right now, which is kind of hilarious. Now I have to thank Low End Lobster and Bully the Kid for getting this to me for my birthday. Completely unexpected and just like a really, really cool gift. I kind of have this weird thing in my head where I don't feel like people think about me when I'm not there or like, you know, whatever. And so to get something that's this cool and thoughtful, just really, really can't thank you guys enough. Thank you. Anyway, that's about it for this bass. So this is normally the part of the video where I'd ask you to push all the YouTube buttons, but I'm kind of tired of doing that. So I don't think I'm going to do that anymore.